Hello and welcome to the vlog. I spent several days moored in this lovely spot at Shirley on the outskirts of Birmingham. It was peaceful but within walking distance of some shops. I had nice chats with locals coming past on the towpath, and there was one other boat moored nearby who was a pleasant neighbour too. But eventually it was time to move on again if I was to get to Crick for the end of the month. So, engine started and ticking over, I set about untying the lines on the bow and stern and taking the TV aerial down before bidding Solihull goodbye. To be honest, not a lot happened to start with, so let's have an ever-popular scenery montage. Good to see this year's Christmas tree crop is growing nicely, and I make no apologies for including another heron shot. I thought he was particularly magnificent. At Hockley Heath, this tiny arm which once led to a coal wharf is now overlooked by a pub but looks sadly ignored. Then at Bridge 26, a problem. It's a drawbridge, as you can see, so I pulled into the bridge landing as normal, went up to operate the bridge, and then realised that if I opened it I wouldn't be able to get back onto the boat to bring it through because I'd be on the wrong side. This caused much head scratching for a moment as I tried to work out if I was being really stupid or if it really is that inoperable for a solo boater. Eventually I decided to go back to the boat and bring it forward to very, very gently nudge up against the bridge so I could step off from the front with a rope, open the bridge, step back onto the boat and bring it through. As luck would have it, boaters coming the other way suddenly showed up, and there were loads of them, so they operated the bridge and I was able to go through. Time then to pause at Swallow Cruisers for a water top-up and emptying of the Lucasette. It's typical of many little boatyards along the canals where they have a chandlery and boat services. But disaster, as I discovered my little nudge against the drawbridge had totally squished the horn. It still works, but it's not pretty. Damn it. Yet another thing to fix, but not right now. And wouldn't you know it, another swing bridge just round the corner, but again, luckily, someone else holding it open for me. After going down the first 4 locks of the Lapworth flight, I stopped for the night, a nice spot and several others doing the same. Then just the little matter of 15 further locks to descend, and starting early, I made good but unhurried progress. It was a nice day and I didn't want to rush. But, joy of joys, an entire team of volunteer lockkeepers emerged from the shadows and took me down the entire rest of the flight, which made it an absolute breeze. I just stood there on the back of the boat and they did all the hard work. Terrific. Just a word of warning, those lock overflows don't half push you sideways as you come out of the lock, which can make trying to go straight into the next one harder than you'd think. Halfway down, And there's a weird little basin, an odd place to stash your boat, I'd have thought, in amongst so many locks. One thing that's very noticeable here are these split bridges, built in wrought iron with a 1-inch gap between the plates. These are a relic of when horses pulled the canal barges, and meant that there was no need to unhitch the horse from its rope when going past, as the rope could simply be taken through the bridge along that little gap, there being no towpath underneath for the horse to walk along. You can see what I mean here. The horse would have gone up the path, but the rope pulled through the gap. At the bottom of Lapworth Locks is a junction where the Stratford Canal meets the Grand Union, a short section called the Lapworth Link being the path between the two. It's quite pleasant here, with a picnic area and lots of facilities for boaters, such as waste bins, short-term moorings and so on. Here's the shower and toilet block, and here's me going along the Lapworth Link to get to the Grand Union Canal, which will take me to Warwick. At the end of the link is this bridge. Go under that and you're on the GU. I turned right, which is heading east, and then pulled up to moor for a few days. Nice spot, but right next to the railway line, just maybe 15-20 yards away. Jolly noisy, but amazingly you do get used to it very quickly. Just before I finish, a bit of spring nature watch. This swan on its nest, entirely unbothered by nearby fishermen and all the boats. That's it for now. Thanks for watching.